Sound on. And transition. And hello, everyone. I still don't have my new desk set up yet, but I have the new desk. So just gotta build it and then attach all the lights and stuff, and then I'll be back on camera. How are you doing, Mama?
I'm doing all right. How are you tonight?
Doing all right. Excited to put my new desk together. I got stuff moved around in my office, so that way I can get it set up and then put stuff on top of it um, when that's built. Then I'll just have to move a few more things because right now my computer's on the other side of the room. Chip Sounder says, "Hey, Chip Sounder, how are you doing today?" Let's see. Aside from that, um, I don't know if I have much else exciting to share. Um, yeah, still looking for a bed. But the place that we looked at, getting a queen size bed and a power base would be about 2,000 in total. Um, and I think we have at least the option to take some of the uh, cost away from the power base by going through Costco. Chip says, brain is broken. Just tested a duality line puzzle, and it took me 80 plus minutes. Oh, wow. That's it. That sounds. Uh, I'm forgetting right now what a duality line is, but yeah, the puzzles that take a really long time do break my brain quite a bit. Do you remember what a duality line is, Mama?
Do not.
Hmm. Um, but yeah. So other than just sort of household things, which getting pretty much sorted, um, most of the things are where we want them to be. Still got a few things to get sorted, but then we'll be all set. Have you been up to anything exciting, Mama?
No, I seldom do anything exciting.
All right. Well,
Although
I
we
guess
did
that,
make blueberry jam recently.
but that's exciting. Um, how did that go? Is it good?
That's pretty good.
Nice.
The peach rhubarb that my sister and I made
Hmm.
recently was really good too.
Nice.
So I have lots of jam at the moment.
It is nice to do things with family and especially food. Food's a really fun way to spend time with people and and bond over something because pretty much everyone likes food. Um, yeah. Chip says when a line has two sets of rules, for example, German whispers and Renbands on the same line. Ah, that makes sense. And a German whisper line and a Renban are definitely gonna um, limit your options pretty well. Um, so yeah, it's interesting. How short could you make a Renban and a German whisper line? Because it couldn't be length two, because they have to be at least five apart. And if they have to be at least five apart, then
Well, and for the Ren band, you're not going to be able to cross the 5.
oh
So
yeah,
the German whisper would have to be two separate chunks with the Ren band stretching between the two.
yeah, that would only work if you had
Or
0 to
Schrodinger's cells.
9 Schrodinger cells. Okay, yeah, because you can do 0 and 5,
Yeah, I didn't think about that one.
but the 5 is still going to have to be on. That would allow a 5 to go on the end. Hmm. I'm not a setter, so, Chip, do you set puzzles? Or was that the puzzle you were working on, was one that was, German Whisperers and Renban and, 0 to 9, including Schrödinger cells? You could also make a 0 through 8 puzzle work, maybe, or just a puzzle that, swaps out 0 for one of the numbers. You wouldn't necessarily need to do Schrödinger cells.
Yeah.
Um, with that, I don't have anything else. So that
No,
sounds to me like it is Sudoku time. So
sounds like
let's go
it.
ahead and get our puzzle set up. Make sure I have my phone on the right thing, which it was not. That way I can see chat, because I don't have my second screen at the moment. Chip says, yeah, I set, but the one I just set was combining thermos and palindromes. The center cell of the palindrome is the bulb of the thermo, and all cells on the line have to be on a thermo. Okay, so you were that was uh, the puzzle you were testing was your own puzzle. That's definitely got to be um, quite tricky, because I know that like when I'm testing either like code I've written, or if I'm like just reading over just like regular words that I've written, the fact that I know exactly what I intend is always like a barrier that I have to overcome to make sure that the um, overcoming the barrier of I know what I meant, but that is not what I wrote is the thing that is difficult for me, because like I'll write like a programming algorithm, and then like I missed like a little bit, like maybe I made a negative instead of a positive, or a less than instead of a greater than, and going over it, like I know what I meant, and since it's such a little thing, then it's really difficult to check that. Although if I'm doing proper unit testing, then that one's easy enough to check, unless it's like an edge case or something. Um, and then if I'm just like regular writing, which I don't do too much, but that's been a problem in the past where I know what I meant, and so I read over my work and it's like that sounds fine when it's just like confusing or some other problem. But Chip says I always make sure I can solve it before submitting. It is important to make sure it's a solvable Sudoku, because I know I would be quite upset if I did set puzzles and then I submitted one that didn't work. Um, yeah. All right. Anything else before we start, Mama?
Nope, I'm ready to Sudoku.
All right. So first puzzle for today is going to be Lockout Lines Turn 4 by Riff Clown. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Place the digits 1 through 9 in each row, column, and box without repetition. Lockout lines. Digits on blue lines cannot be between or equal to the digits in um, the digits in the diamonds at the ends of the line. Now, I was thinking in my head that I already know what lockout lines are, so I'm just going to uh, read the words on the page and not listen to them, which is why I paused in the middle and was like, digits on blue lines cannot be between or equal to the digits on the diamonds. And then I realized I said cannot be between, because normally lockout
Yeah,
lines,
that's a little different than normal.
yeah. So anyway, the digits in the diamonds at the ends of the line must differ by at least 4, and a diamond terminates a line segment. Interesting.
So 1 and 9 cannot be in the diamonds.
Yeah, but they can be
Oh,
on the
this is
lines.
right.
They must differ by at least 4. Interesting. All right, well, let's get started. Um, and then let me get the link to the puzzle into the chat. There we go. Now we can get started. So, cannot be between, and they differ by at least 4. So, how many digits is that possible to be? I, I guess we could put a 1 or a 9 on here, because if I did a 1 and a 5, then these
Yeah,
digits would be 6, 7, 8, 9,
right.
which, I mean, is that possible? I mean, there's a run of 4. Yeah, you've got a run of 4 here as well. Um,
Uh,
but that means that these can't differ by more than 5. Um, because if this was, say, 1 and 6, and if I just simply move them along, um, then like 2 and 7 or 3 and 8, or 4 and 9. Wait, hold on. 1 and 6 differs by 5. Right. And 2 and 7 differ by 5, because now I'm talking about a difference of 5. But that would just leave over 1 through 6 would leave 7, 8, 9, and I wouldn't be able to do this run here, even if we ignore like the numbers, because if I just move the numbers around to make everything work. So we know what the options are. They're 1, 5, 2, 6, 3, 7, 4, 8, and 5, 9. Now, we cannot do 2, 6, or 8, and 4. And we cannot do, well, if we just look at this 9 here, that means I cannot use a 9 on here. So then it's going to have to be 5, 9. Because it's all of the digits that are not between 5 and 9 or including 5 and 9. So that has to be
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4, right?
Sounds reasonable.
Because if I didn't put a 9 on here, then I would have to use a 9. Okay, none of those can be 2. None of those is 4. That's not a 4. 2, 2. Don't really need purple here anymore. Ah, what about these two? I only see a run of 3. Yeah, because they differ by at least 4, they remove at least 5 numbers. So like these two could differ by either 4 or 5. And these two could differ by 4 or 5. But then these two could differ by 8. No, they couldn't differ by 8, because if they differed by 8, then that would leave no more digits.
Yeah. The two diamonds in box 6, one is from 1, 2, 3, and the other is either 5 or from 7, 8, 9. Not that that's really
Um,
helpful, but
okay. No, I can't have 2 on here, and I can't have 5 or 9, because if we look at this, 2, 5, and 9 are all out. So that leaves 6 possibilities. And then these two are going to remove 5 more possibilities. And these cannot be 1, 3, 4.
no, they cannot.
They have to include at least 2 from 6, 7, and 8. So then I cannot use a 9 on here or an 8, right?
Right.
If I used a 7, oh, I cannot use, no, I can use a 1. Because I could do 1 through 5, and that would leave 6 through 9. But I could also do 2.
You can't use 7 because if you use
Um,
7, then 6 and 7 are out in box 4.
right,
So it would be 1, 3, and 8. Well, 4 away from 7 is
is
3, which
3.
eliminates 3.
Yeah,
So it's going to have to be 1 and 5.
because 2 and 3 are too far away from each other, or too close to each other, or too close to everything.
Right. So 1 and
So
4 are
1,
out.
3, and 4.
Oh, so is 3. Yeah.
And then 1's gone from here. We get a 1 there, a 1 here, and this one's 2. 7's going to be over here, but 8 is going to be over here. 8, 7, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, where the 2 isn't here. I guess this is 1, 3, 4, and 7. Where the 4 isn't here.
Column 7 is 6, 7, 8, 9 of what's left.
6, 7, 8, 9. 8, 9. 9 is gone. 6 and 7 is gone. The 1 is gone from here to the 1, 5 pair. And not a
Yeah.
6 here. So 6 is one of those two.
And 6 or 7, the other end of that,
Has to be at least 4 away, which is going to be 1 or 3.
yeah.
Because you can't go up.
And that's a 1, 3, 4 in the column. So 5 and 9 are left in the column. Hmm,
5, 8, and 9 here. 5, 7, 9, and I guess 1, 3, or 4. Except not the bottom, because the 3, 4 pair in box 2. Now, we know well, what possibilities are on here? 1 and 2 is gone. And then so is 3 and 4. But I cannot put a 5 or a 6 on here. So these have to be 7, 8, 9. So 8, 7, 9. 3, 4 is going to be what? 5 and 6 left over? Oh,
Yeah, the end of row 2 is from 2, 3, and 5.
that one's an 8. It's a 9. It's an 8. 6, 9, not a 6, 7, 6, 5, and 9. 1 and 5, 5 and 6. Say again what you said about row 2. 5, 7, 8, 9,
Is
you said?
from row 2 is from 2, 3, and 5.
Oh, yeah, somehow I ended up on row 3. You'd think I'd know how to count by now.
Oh, 6 can be placed in column 7.
So this can no longer be a 3. So this is 1. 2, 3, 4, 7, 3, 4, 8, 5, 9, 7, 3, 2, 4. This is just a 4. 2, 4 places 3. Oh, I guess the 1, 7 also does it. Okay, these two. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 8. 1, 7, 1, 7, 1, 9, 8. 3, 2, 4, 3. What's left over here? 3 and 9, it looks like. Let's look at what's left over in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a 7, that's a 5, that's a 1, that's a 6. That doesn't work. Oh, yes, it does. Never mind. It's because they have to be on the outside.
Right. Column 9 is 7 over 8 left.
7 over 8. Column 4. 4. 1, 2, 3 left over. 1, 2, 3 like this. 4, 1, 2, 4. This one is
3,
and then columns
2,
and
5.
yeah, right. This, put it in the notes, and let's see if it's in Logic Masters Germany. Yeah, Chip Sounder says it was a smooth solve. It did feel pretty like it was directed very well. Column 5. How did this end up being letters? I don't know what keyboard shortcut I keep clicking on that makes it letters. But
The lockout lines being on the outside instead of in between was, uh, not as confusing because accustomed to the other way of between lines instead. So it wasn't as much of a throw as I was expecting. Is there a problem? Ah, no wonder I suddenly couldn't hear you.
just muted it and then oh, maybe I just didn't press the button hard enough. Interesting. Well, at least my audio's working again. Audio working again. Yay. All right. You can't hear me, right, Mama? Uh-oh.
Yes, I can
Did I
hear
mute?
you.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Cool. Um, it was definitely on my side. I clicked I did a cough, so I clicked the mute on my headset. Um, and then apparently it didn't want to unmute, so I just pressed the button extra hard, and it came back out. So, because I had pressed it to unmute myself, but then I was talking about like the difficulty of the puzzle, and just didn't work out. Um, yeah, I don't know how much was heard, but I was talking about how like this 9 over here forces those pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And then options over here are pretty limited, combining with the 1, 3, 4 over here because of this 2. Um, and then yeah, it was pretty straightforward. I don't know if I would necessarily consider the rule set to be super easy, but it's definitely very approachable. So I am going to go ahead and leave it as an easy puzzle, unless you think I'm adding difficulty just to be contrary. Um, but with that, it's on to puzzle number 2 for today. And puzzle number 2 is going to be You're Such a Square by Walking Writer. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Digits along a diagonal cannot repeat, and digits separated by an X sum to 10. Digits separated by a V sum to 5, and not all XV pairs are shown. Numbers in a cage must be a perfect square, and each perfect square can be used only one time. Okay. Now it says numbers in a cage must be a perfect square. So when we're talking about the numbers in a cage, do we mean like 49 is 7 squared, or do we need to make the um
Yeah, I think it would be
yeah, this
that.
seems like the most reasonable way of going about it.
And 3 of
Um
those corners are single digits, and they would be 1, 4, and 9.
yeah, this isn't the right spot, although I can go ahead and do this. Paste, copy. Now we paste it over here. Link in the chat if you want to give it a go.
And that X is gonna have to be 6 and 4.
6,
Actually, it'll be
4.
6, 4, yeah.
These are going to be
1, 4, and 9.
okay. 4 squared is going to be 16. And then 5 is 25. 6 is 36. And 7 is 49.
64 is already used,
Right.
and 9 is 81.
1. And then 10's 100, so
And
limited on our
actually,
options there.
row 1, column 9
1 and 9
cannot
is
be
gone.
1, 4, or 9. Yeah, because it sees all 3 of those by the diagonals, and at least the diagonals cannot repeat, right?
Yeah, digits along a diagonal cannot
Okay.
repeat.
I figured that was why they were. I wasn't seeing it in the rules there though. So,
It's the end of the first line and into the second one. But I had forgotten that too,
oh
and I
right.
was surprised to see a blue X. Again, reading to read, not reading to understand. But that's going to take out 81 as a possibility, 49 as a possibility. And we still got 36, 25, or 16. So that's still 3 options. And now the 1, 2, 3, 4 is going to take 1s off of these, which is 81. And 16, but 6 can still be used with 36. Let's see. See anything else? Now these 10s, do they have anything interesting to share with us? Not sure.
I don't think so at this point.
Yeah. I mean, this one can't be a 6 because of the 5, 6, but it couldn't be a 6 because of this 4 already. But these two are only just not those two. But this one could be 1, 4, or 9 and not be taken off of those. Now, do we use all of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we do use all of the squares. So 25 has to be used as one of these two. So it's going to take 2's out and 5's out from the rest of these. But we don't know if 16 or 36 is used up as the other.
Right. Oh, uh, row 5, column 9 can't be 6 because it sees both of
Right. Both these two 5, 6's both see
right.
here, and they must be different.
And so it can't
Um,
be 16 or 36. Hmm. So that 4 doesn't have anything to go with.
in here,
Oh, 49. Never mind. I don't know what I was thinking.
this one doesn't have a 4 because of the 1, 2, 3, 4 here. I'm not sure exactly how I missed that. And it can't be a 3 for the similar reason. So this is 81. 49 then. Can't be 2, 3, so that's forced to be that.
The box 8 square can't be 49 now. It's already used.
Right. So this is a 6. That's a 5. That's a 6. So this one's 36 because it can't be 16. This one's 25, and now this one's 16. So a little slow on that one, but got there in the end. What's left over along this diagonal? 5, 1, and 6 is all removed. Don't have 3, 4 here, 2, 3, 4 there. This one's not a 2, that's not a 4, that's not a 4. We've got 1, 2, 3, 7, 8. This one's a lot less restricted. So do I even bother? This one has to be 4 under 6 because of the 1, 2, 3 triple here. So that means 4 is required, and then this 4, 6 fixes its orientation. We've got either 4, 6 or 3, 7 here because of the 1, 2 already, taking out 8, 9, and yeah, 8, 9. Excuse me. 5, 7, and 8 are what's left over in column 9. Guess I want to look at this. 5, 7, 8, 9. The 5 isn't in the middle. In box 9. We could do 5 digits in box 6. 5, 7, 8, 9. Excuse me, 5, 7, 8, and then also 1 and 6. Where these two aren't 6, and these two aren't 1. Also not 2, but 6 and 6 here force a 6 to be there.
Well, and box 6 has a 1.
Right. Because the 1 here and there rule it out of those. And then here is 5, 7, 8, 9 as well to finish out column 8. And it's 2, 5, 7, 8, 9. 8 in row 1.
Column 5 is 7 and 9.
5, 7, 8, 9, and 1 left over. Well, this one rules it out of all of those. Well, I guess this one and that one ruled out of all of these. So it must be there. 5, 7, 8, 9. It isn't a 5. We get 7, 8, 9 there. 5 is here. 7, 8, 9. It's not a possibility. This one's 6. This one's 4. That one's 3.
Okay, so row 5 is 7, 8 left, and row 6 is 5, 9 left.
Oh, this one's not 4. Ah, because the 4 here. So this one's 9, that one's 4. This one isn't 9. That one's not 9. 7, 8 pair. So now what's left over here?
3.
9, 7, 8, 2, 3 pair. Which is going to line up with these. So 2s are gone from there, and then we get a 2 here. Still have 2 possibilities for 5. Do I want to fill in column 1? I guess I might as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 from these two. How about row 1? 4, 5, 7. 4 isn't here. Hmm. 1, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Oh, no, 9. 4 can't be in either of these, and this isn't a 1. So where is 4 in here? 4's here and here rule out those. This 4 rules out this one, and this one rules it out of the corner. So that's a 4. Is this a 5,
In
7 pair?
box 7, the 2 has to be on the diagonal, so it comes off of the top of the X, which takes the 8 out of the bottom. Yeah.
That's going to line up with the 2's over here, and we get 2's down here. This 2 rules it out from the left side, the 2, 3 from the center, and we get a 2 here.
Row 9, the 3 has to be in box 7.
Because this one rules out of that, and then that has to be 7, 9, or we see the 2, 3 there. That's a 2, and the 2, 3 rules it out of the rest of this. So 3, 3, 7.
6 in row 9 is
6,
in
6.
box 7, so that's a 3, 6 pair.
4, 2, 3, and 6, and a 1 is all removed. Excuse me. 1, 6, 4, and 2. 5, 7, 8, 9 to finish out row 9. 5, 7, 8, 9, and a 3. 5, 7, 8, 9 quad. So this is what, 4 and 6? 5, 7, and 9. So the 9 has to be
6
one
in
of these.
6 in column 2? Wait a minute, where's the
Right.
6 in box 1? possibility. It's got to be in the bottom row.
1578. It's right here. I just missed it somehow.
Okay.
9, 1, 2. Not a 9, not a 1, 5 and 9. 9
One in
here.
column one or box one. Box nine places. Yeah.
First try. There we go. Right. Um, Logic Masters Germany. Hmm. Well, the puzzle does not appear to be on Logic Masters Germany. Either that or the author is listed differently and they listed the puzzle by a different name as well. So, do wonder how they get their puzzles when they're not on Logic Masters Germany, but doesn't matter. And I guess I should say who they are. So I get my puzzles by shamelessly copying the Cracking the Cryptic channel. Um, they do a very wonderful job. This is how I found all of these wonderful variant Sudoku puzzles. Highly recommend anyone who has not, or anyone who has seen my content doing Sudoku puzzles, check their channel out. It is so much better than mine. But make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on my channel anyway, because I solved them live. Although I know Simon has solved at least one puzzle live when he's done like a incredibly difficult one. Why is my phone dark and spooky? It's probably just phone sensor or the camera sensor or something. Doesn't really matter. But yeah, I don't have anything else to talk about for this puzzle. So the next puzzle is going to be Around the Block by Arbitrary. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Digits along an arrow sum to the value in the connected circle. Neighboring digits on a green line have a difference of at least 5. Link in the chat if you'd like to give the puzzle a go. Then what are we going to do?
Well, boxes 3, 4, 5, 7, and 8 have squares. You can't have 6 or 4 on any of those.
It is very true.
And 5, I was particularly looking at box 8. Um, 4, 5, and 6. One of those is going to have to be on the circle, and it's going to have to be 5 or 6 because 4 would be 1 and 3, and then you don't have two low digits to put in the square.
Right.
That's going to have to be 5 or 6.
Now, is 4, 5, or 6 forced onto the circle? Because
Well, no, it's just forced out of the green.
Yeah,
But oh, well, no, 5 or 6 is not gonna be forced on there because you can have, because there'll be another.
you could put 4 and 5 here and then get 9.
Right, because there's another low digit and another high digit.
Yeah,
But it's either gonna have to be 5 or, and if it's 5 on the circle, it would have to be 1, 4.
yeah.
Um,
6 could be 2, 4.
and 2, 3 would make it, on the German Whisper would make it 7 or 8 and 9.
Yeah. I mean, all you need is the 3 to make it 8, 9.
Right. Can't put 5 on. Well, yeah, because it would have to be 1 and 4. I already said that. 6 on the circle, 1, 5, or 2, 4.
Could it be 4, 5, and 9? So it have to be 1, 2 on here, along with 7, 8, which is still possible. I think you could even do 9 with 3, 6, because it would be 1, 2 over here, and then you have 4, 5 as one of those two.
Right.
Now we do know that these two. Okay, if I make this orange, or no, purple, um, this one and this one cannot be the same set of 4 digits. They have to differ by at least 1. Because if they were all 4 the same between these two, then these 3 would have to be from 4 different digits. But there's not enough space to put 4 digits in 3 boxes, or 3 cells.
Right.
So we know that those two differ by at least 1, which means that this one differs by this one by at least 1, and that one by at least 1. There's nothing stopping the 2 green boxes from being the same. Excuse me. Okay. Well, all right. Well, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We know it can't be 3 because the low digits are 1, 2, 3 on here. And a 3 would be
Right.
use 1, 2, and 3. Would remove all of the low digits. A 4 is 1, 3, which would only leave a 2 as the possible low digit. 5 is 1, 4. 6 could be 1, 5, or 2, 4.
I'm gonna break in here for a second.
Okay.
Columns 3 and 4, 6 of the digits on those are on squares, which
Yeah.
cannot contain. Well, now the one that between box. Yeah, no, that throws that off because between box 1 and 2, it could contain the 4 or the 6. Because if you have 4, then the opposite corner, I mean, the 2 nines, or if it was 6, the 2 ones would be just fine.
Yeah. No, I got excited about
Rats.
that as well.
Like, "Oh, hey, you can't put." "Oh, yeah, you can." Okay, let's say that in those 2 columns,
Mhm.
4 and 6 do not occur on the German Whispers at all.
Hypothetically.
Hypothetically. Yeah, but that could be, you could have, yeah, no, that doesn't help. Alright, sorry, you can go back to what you were doing now.
I think I was just considering the options for these 2, um, and what they can be. Like, a 5 can be 1, 4, 6 can be 1, 5, or 2, 4. 7, I mean, is one from 1, 2, 3, and the other from 4, 5, 6. And then 8 is one from 1, 2, 3, the other from 5, 6, 7. But 9 has the possibility of doing 1 through 4. So then I could still have the other low digit be one of these 2. Because I could do 4, 5 over here and not break anything.
Right,
And so the same thing occurs over here in box 5. Now, this circle cannot be here
it's
or
minimum
here.
5,
It
right,
has to
it
go on
has to be
here.
on there.
So that actually makes it minimum 7
Right,
because I cannot put a 6 on here,
right.
um, or a
Can't put
5.
5. Yeah.
And I can't put 4. I could theoretically put 3, but then I would also need a
No.
1 or a 2 with it, and that would
No,
be
because if you,
broken here.
right,
And then it clearly can't be 1 or 2.
if it's 7, you have to have 1, 2 on that, so that would make 3, 4 on the arrow.
Right. But 8 and 9 are not restricted.
Right. And if 3, 4 were on that arrow, then the arrow for box 8, uh,
Would have to have a 1 or a 2.
right, So the circle can't be 5 because 5 has to have 1 and 4. 6 would have to have 2 and 4 or 1 and 5.
It
1
could
and
be
5
1,
would still
5.
work.
Yeah.
You couldn't put 7 in the other circle because you wouldn't be able to use 3, 4.
It could be 1, 5. Or excuse me, 1, 6 or 2, 5.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't.
How warm is it in here? 76. It feels warmer than 76, but I also have my thermometer on the floor, so let me go ahead and turn this on. Hmm. Why am I struggling so much with this? The other puzzles took about this a length of time to do.
Right, box 4 on the outside of the 4, 5, and
Well,
6 have to be on the outside,
yeah.
plus another low digit.
But we know it can't be any of the digits from 789 because the two high digits, whichever diagonal they'd go along, are 789.
Right.
Am I muted again? No, I just have been quiet. Um,
Yeah, I haven't quite gotten that down yet. Sometimes gets lost
yeah,
in thought and can't talk.
yeah. I do have to I do struggle sometimes with the thinking. Um, the other part is that I don't have an internal monologue. So like if I'm just sort of like blankly staring, like there isn't that much going on in my head either. So like it's I struggle to um I struggle to figure out exactly what to say. Like I'm still thinking, but it's thinking in like a different way than words, which I'm not sure exactly how to explain. Um, I'm basically looking for some type of pattern, and I'm not sure how to like verbalize it. It would help if I had my camera on, but if I do turn my camera on, I just sort of look like this, and it's
Uh,
just extra dark and spooky. Um, so I'm not particularly fond of it. So that's why I have my camera off for the moment. Um,
With no internal monologues, if you're thinking, There's not words in your head?
I can make words in my head, but it takes a little bit of effort. But I don't have the, like, voice in my head that's just, like, narrating the world. Like, I don't have Morgan Freeman narrating my thoughts or anything. So, yeah, like, if I'm not talking, it's pretty much quiet in there.
Yeah, I think I pretty much have something chatting in my head at all times. That's weird.
Mhm.
But I don't really see pictures in my head anymore. There was a time I did.
Mm.
I think that kinda changed when I got concussed.
Oh.
Um, but I don't remember. 'Cause, like, I used to be able to see math systems.
Mhm.
I mean, I could see equations, and I could see what they were doing.
Mhm.
I don't do that anymore. I lost that when I was concussed.
Mhm.
So, I don't know what area of the brain I damaged, but and I didn't think it was a bad concussion, but
Yeah.
'cause I basically only lost a day that I know of.
Mhm. Yeah. When I got hit in the head, um, I only
You didn't know where
remember.
your hair went.
Yeah. I had very long hair that I had just cut off. Um,
And took a
and
spin kick to the head, didn't you?
yeah, because I was doing martial arts at the time. Um, I feel like I remember everything up to the point of the beginning of that sparring match, and then I lost everything from after the beginning of that sparring match to whenever I woke up. But apparently, there was things that I did before I actually woke up. Woke up. Um, so I don't remember that
Wait,
part.
I mean, did you actually go out or just was kinda stunned? Because I don't when
I
they
I
called, I don't remember that you say them saying that you actually went out.
I remember bowing into the sparring match and then waking up later next to a fan with a water bottle next to me. And then I'm like, "Oh, I I got hit in the head. I need to start remembering like, okay, what is my name? What day of the week is it? What year is it? Um,
Why do I have no hair?
yeah, why is my hair gone? Um,
You were very
just
concerned about why you had no hair.
yeah. Um, Now I did remember that later, um, like why my hair was gone.
Yeah, I
Because I
think you
don't.
were in the waiting room at the ER at that point because you still seemed kinda confused about that when I got there
Okay,
because they took you to the ER and I met you there
yeah, I remember.
because they thought you should get checked out just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, it's definitely better to be safer than sorrier there. Um, I remember. Um, um, I remember saying that I got my hair cut and then why I got my hair cut. Um, but the I mean, I have memory problems on top of that, being kicked in the head that day, um, from other things. So, I don't feel like I lost anything in particular from that event, but it's hard to remember what you've forgotten.
Right,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah.
Anyway, we got away from Sudoku. I was like, "Wait a
Yeah,
minute, how do" Yeah, I
it
have a
is
very chatty
definitely
brain.
yeah. Yeah, really the only time I get words in my head is if I'm reading. But I don't get any like real images when I'm reading either.
Brains are weird.
They sure are. Okay. With with hmm
With.
I'm not even sure like really where to go because like I mean this one is definitely like really important because it's forced onto here. But then like that's not true of either of those two circles. And I can't even say like anything in particular about like this line of 3 and what it means for this box. Um that means at least one of them is on the square, but I don't know what else. And it's not even like any particular one of those. It could be this one for all we know that goes on the square. And the same thing is true from this line of 3 in box 4. Well, this arrow in box 5 and what it means for the digits in box 4. Um, if it ends up being a 7, 8, 9, we'll know it's on the square.
Right.
And um, but we won't even know what that would mean for box 8. So
Right. Can you still hear me?
yeah, I can still hear you.
Okay. Because I just noticed that, you know, I that it's not doing anything. I think my computer's just being weird.
Oh, do you want me to restart the Discord stream, or did that switch it to Discord?
Well, no, because it's not doing anything. I
Okay.
may have to.
Screen, screen, screen.
Yeah,
All
because
right.
I can't even exit full screen here.
Oh, that's really annoying.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to like reboot again.
Yeah. You might be able to just redo Discord. If you try like an Alt F4, that might get rid of Discord without needing to restart the whole computer. Well, hopefully Mom didn't restart her whole computer. All right, let's see if I can make some progress while she's fixing technical problems. One, two, three, seven, eight, nine. Okay. Well, whichever one of these is the high digit from 7, 8, 9, because you can't put 4 or 6 in here. What does that mean for row 6? Well, it means that these two cannot be from 7, 8, 9, because if this is from 7, 8, 9, then that would be the third from 789. And if it isn't from 789, then 5 or 6 won't allow for 789. So this is 1 through 6. And so now we've got 4 from 1 through 6, a fifth one that's 1 through 3, and so this is either 1 through 6 or 789. But that doesn't eliminate anything for this digit. Unfortunately, we don't have the same thing going on here or here that would align with this one. So then what? So then I can oh, now I got disconnected. Well, I got disconnected from Discord. There it is. Mama!
Back.
Yay! Alright, is it working?
Sort of. It looks different than usual.
Oh, how does it look different than usual? Did
Which,
Discord do an update?
well, yeah, it was. That's part of what took me so long.
Hmm.
Full screen. There we go. Okay. Sorry
So I
about that.
made I made one observation about row 6 in that
Mm-hmm.
there is a high digit over here, and
Right.
on this little
And a
U
low
shape,
digit.
yeah, it has to be a high digit and a low digit. And the high digit has to be from 789. It can't be a 6 because then it would be two ones in the same box.
Right.
So the high digit is 789. That combines with the 789 on the left side of row 6. And if we look at the arrow in box 5, then if the circle of that arrow is 789, then you can't put a 789 on the arrow because that would be the last 789. Because the high digit over here is 789. This digit is 789, and if this is 789, then that's all three. And if this is not a 7, 8, or 9, then it's 5 or 6. 5 or 6 is uh, would require that this is smaller than 789, and so the 789 would be here. So the 789 is here, one of those two, this one or that one. But we
Right.
don't have any other information for this one because it's either 1 through 6 or 7, 8, or 9, which is all the digits. I was trying to think if that could be relevant here as well, but because we don't have circles in row 7,
Right.
that information is not really helpful here that I can tell.
Now on columns 3 and 4
Hmm.
on the German whispers, it is a high low, high low, high low. And
The problem is the one that goes
Right.
between
I know,
boxes 1 and 2.
but in what's left over, there's gonna be a 5, a high and a low.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not very
Okay, I guess I do wanna ask the question, can this be a 4 and a 9 and then, let's say, another 4? What would be left over in these areas? Well, the high digit would have to be 7, 8. Um, Now, with these, I could do a pair of 8s, and then 1, 2, 3, and then on the other side of the 8, that's 1, 2, 3, and I could do a 9 over here, and then these could be a pair of 7s, a 1, 2, and it wouldn't matter, 8s. And that would allow this to still be a 7. You'd get 3, 4 there without any problems. Um, but you would run out of low digits over here.
right.
So perhaps what I should be asking is, instead of 4, 9, 6 and 1s. Because now the low digits over here are going to be 3s and 8, 9 pairs, and 2s and 7, 8, 9s. This is still a 7, a 3, and a 4. This can't be a 1, it must be a 3. So my low digit here has to be a 1. But then I can get 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 7, or 8. 3 is going to be 8 or 9. So this would have to be 5 paired with 6. But that's starting with a lot of assumptions.
Right.
So is there a way to make smaller assumptions? So like this being a 7 would be 3, 4. And then my low digits are going to be 1, 2. And now I have to have a 1 or a 2 over here. So a 3 is required, which is going to force an 8, 9. So then we get 5, 6, or 7. So then this is going to be 1, 2. Well, I can't do 3 or 4 to make 5. I could do 1, 5, 2, 5, or 1, 6. Seven here is going to force an 8, 9 pair. but that's just going to be 1, 2, 3. This is the low digit in this column. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is gone. This is 5 or 6. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, this would be 5 or 6. Because this column is also got 3 pairs of the high lows.
High lows.
So hold on. Went too far back. Maybe instead of thinking about if this is 7, what does that mean? Right? Recognizing that we've got 3 whole columns where I've got 5s,
Right.
which is going to take 5s out of those two. Now, the small problem is that they aren't required to not use 4 or 6 in the top. So it's just
Right.
1 high and 1 low along with the 5. However, that does mean I need a 5 in one of these 3. Which means if this is a 7, that's a 5. Which is interesting. But this 7, one of these two has to be a low digit. Whether this is 7, 8, or 9. I can't escape one of these being a low digit. Which means these two can't be a low digit. They're a 5, 6 pair. And now this is 7, 8, 9. And so this is 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, and you can't make it 8 or 9 in box 5.
Right. It has to be 7 with
Right.
a 3,
With
4.
3, 4.
Okay. Progress has finally happened.
Well, and 7 in box 4 now has to be on the German Whisper. So it's 1, 2, 7, and either
And
8 or
8
9.
or 9. But the 1, 2 comes out of here. And then the 3, 4 makes that be 1, 2. Well, just the fact that this had to have a 3 makes those a 1, 2 there. So 1 and 2s means that's a 1, 2, but we already knew that from the rest of row 6.
Right.
Okay. One of these is low, and one of these is high. Wait a second, hold on. Did I go too fast? Yeah, I definitely went too fast. I know that one of these two is low. That doesn't rule out the low digits from both of these. Just one of them.
Right.
Now, if this was a 7, they'd both be low. Okay, but that does rule out this being a 7, because if these were both low, then these would be a 5, 6 pair, and now this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and I couldn't make a 6 a 7, because that would be a 7 and a 5, 6 pair, and then the 8 or a 9, because the maximum there is 7. So this is not 7, and so I still get 1, 2, 7, 8, 9, whereas 7's required in here. So 1 and 2 is gone. Okay. Except now I'm going too fast again, because a 7 doesn't require those both be low. It just ruled out 3 and 4. But it can still be 2, 5 or 1, 6.
Well, no, because if that's 7, then 7 has to be on the German Whisper in box 7. If 7 is in the circle in box
Right.
4,
Right. Okay.
then it has to be 3, 4.
Okay. I had just forgotten that part. So that was
Yeah.
the thing. Okay. If we put hmm. Well, it's not that helpful to say that an 8 or a 9 has to be in here, because we already knew that an 8 or a 9 had to be in there. Because there's 3 digits,
Right.
7, 8, or 9. So one of them is an 8 or a 9. It could be another 7, and then I do 1, 2, and 7,
Right.
and then that would make these three 1, 2, and 7. But then the other of 8 and 9 would be different. Yeah, but that would be forced, because this one we know is in there. Okay. First try. Now what? Okay, well, 1 and 2 is in there, so those are all gone.
Right.
Well, we know we cannot use only 1 or 2 in here, but I'm not forced to not use 1 or 2, so that's not helpful. I guess I want to ask, what happens if this is a 6? Then that would make this 7, 8, 9.
That's 6. It has to be 1 and 5.
Could it still be
No.
2, 4?
Maybe.
Hmm.
That would make that 3, 5. And that's 1 and whatever. 2, 5. It's 1 and 3 on the or 2, 4. It's 1 and 3 on the German Whisper.
Yeah, but it couldn't be both 1 and 3.
Well, no, in box 5, sorry.
Oh, so it'd be 1, 3, 8, 9.
And 7, 8, yeah. Or 8, 9. And then 5 and 7 in the
In the upright.
right. And the other circle becomes an 8 or a 9 in the column.
Yeah. If I knew that this was a 5, 5 and 3 would make 8. And you get 1, 2, and 8. That would make that a 1 or a 2. One of those a 1 or a 2, and then 6, 7, 8, or 9. No, except you couldn't have a 6 on there. Now we're not required to have a 5 here. I mean, if we don't have a 5, then it has to be one of the digits 1, 2, and 3. And then this would be 4, 5, 6 right there.
That wouldn't work because box 4,
Yeah.
I would put
So
yeah.
is that enough to prove that this isn't a 5? Because 4 and 5, if this was a 9, that would be the only way we get 4 and 5. But an 8 would have to use one of the digits 1, 2, and 3, and if I don't use a 5, a 9 would have to use one of the digits 1, 2, and 3, right?
Right.
And since one of these, or we have two of the digits 1, 2, and 3, then this would have to be 4, 5, and 6. If the 5 isn't here, well, I guess it wouldn't have to be 4, 5, and 6. It would have to be 4 and 5, but I could do 3 and 6 here, or 2 and 6. Huh. Darn it. I was trying to prove that that had to be a 5. But an 8 would make 4 required to be here. Which would put 4 required to be there. If this had to be 5, then it's 3, 5, or 4, 5. And the fact that I can put a 6 in one of these. Hmm.
All
If
right.
I have a
Um,
go ahead.
rows rows 2, 5, and 9. Do the same thing with the 5s that columns 2, 3, and 4 did.
But they do them differently.
They do them differently. And it's
Row 8 does something similar.
yeah.
One, two, three.
Oh, in box 1, the 5
Uh-huh.
has to be in row 1.
Oh, so that can't be a 5. Okay, but these 3 have to be 4, 5, and 6. No, they don't, because these 2 aren't required to be.
Right. They're not squares, they're open-ended. So
Yeah.
the end point could be a 4 or a 6.
Okay, where can 5 go?
If box 5, it can't go on the German Whisper.
Oh, I don't know. I did that. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's in 4, so it's not enough. to line up with this. One of these two is 5, and the other from whatever that is. So 5, high, low, or high, low, 5. I really don't know what to do with these rows here,
Yeah.
because they're not aligned enough to really tell us anything. What am I missing? What am I missing? If this had a 7 on it, then that would be 127. But it's not required to have a 7 on it, so I don't know what that means. The same would be true here. Those would be 127, where the 1, 2 would be there. Except, hold on, if this was a 7 down here, right? That would align with
Right.
this 7, and the 1, 2 would align with the 1, 2 that's up here, and make this be 1, 2, 7. Well, these can't both be 1, 2, they're a high-low pair, so that would be a 7. So one of these is a 7, but 7 would force 1, 2. So I can't have 7 down here. This has to be 1, 2, 3, 8, 9. So now I learned that the 7 is around like that. The same is true here. This cannot have a 7 on it, because if it did, 1, 2, 7, the same 7 problem here, where that would have to be 1 or 2, but then that would have to be 1 or 2 if the 7 was here. So this doesn't have a 7 on it. So now that's an 8, 9 pair, so 8 and 9 is gone. But now the 8, 9 and the 8, whichever of 8 and 9 that's in here, is going to be along this, but it could be the one that goes in there. So that doesn't matter, I don't think. can this can well 6 or 7 cannot avoid the use of 1, 2, or 3.
Right.
So these are 4, 5, 6, 7. It's finally some progress, but progress that's rather slow. Now, I don't know if I can prove that this can't have a 7 in it. Because if it does have a 7 in it, then it has 1 and 2 in it as well.
Right.
Now, the minimum here would be 3 and 4. So this would be 8 or 9 if I put a 7 in here. So it would be either 3, 5 for 8, or 3, 6 for 9, or 4, 5 for 9. So if this is a 7, this has to be 8 or 9. But if it isn't a 7, I don't know. Except one of these 3 has to be 7, so this isn't. So now 7 has to be in here or up here. But I could do 1, 7 or 2, 7 for 8 or 9. But then that makes this 8 or 9 regardless then, doesn't it? Because either the 7 is in here and it's paired with a 1 or a 2, and since that would be
Right.
minimum 3, 4, 5 and 6 is gone. Or the 7 isn't on here, it also isn't on here, so then it's on here, and then 5 and 6 is gone anyway. So this is 8 or 9. And so now that forces this to have a 7 on it, because it can't be an 8, 9 pair. So this is 1, 2, 7, 8, 9. 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 8, 9. And 3 is one of these two, so it can't be there. So now it has to be 4, 5 for 9. Because 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One of these two is a 3. It can't go on there. Okay. Oh, and this one can't be the 5 because the 5 has to be one of these three. So that's 4, that's 5. This isn't a 5, and that isn't a 5. 4, 5, 3, 6, 7, 4, 5. Well, it's going to have to be 1, 6. Okay, I'm gonna start taking out the red-blue coloring because it's not really that helpful.
Okay, well, that 7 arrow has to be 1, 6. I think you already said that.
Yeah, I don't know how
So,
4 got back on there. So, Mama,
well, no, row 6 in box 6, the 1 comes out. It
hmm,
was the only thing.
yeah. But now this has to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, but it's not 1 or 6, and it can't be a 5. So it's 2, 3, 4. Because the 5's over here, 1 and 6 is there,
Right.
and 7, 8, or 9, and then whichever high digit from here is 8 or 9. Means that that can't be 7, 8, or 9.
Okay, columns 2 and 3. Since it has to be a low, a 5, and a high
Yeah.
in the empty spaces.
hmm
The low is gonna go. Oh, no, it doesn't. It doesn't have to be. Never mind, that was stupid.
Well, one of these two is going to be low, and one of those two is going to be low. So this has to be 5 and a high digit, right?
Right, yeah. Because that's a high low and that's a 5 and a low. That takes care of all the lows.
Um, Now this is either 1, 2, 3, because it doesn't have 5 or 4 on it.
Right.
Um, and then 6 or 7, because it has to be an 8, 9 pair.
Mhm.
So 4, 5, 6, 7, where this isn't 4 or 5, because I already used 1, 2, and 3.
Right.
4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8 or 9. Yeah. Now 6 has to be one of these two, because this, ruling it out of those. So 6 is there, so none of these are 6. This is the 7. So now it can't be a 1, because it can't pair with 1 and 7 or 1 and 8. 2, 3, 6. So this, but the 6 is required. So
Right.
this is a 3, that's a 6. 3 is gone, this is an 8.
And row 7 is left with 189.
So 7, 1, 8, 9. Can't be an 8, 9 pair, so this is 8 or 9. These three are fixed. 8
1,
and
2,
7, 4
and
and 5, 3
9.
and 6, and can't be a 1 2 pair, so that is 1 or 2.
And since that's 1 2 9, 9 comes out of the high digit with the 5.
Right. I cannot put 6 as either of these two, because it would be a 6 1 pair.
And neither can be a 4 because it would put a 9 into box 1 and there's a
Right.
9 in column 1. So 4 and 6 are out of both of those.
Um, can I not put a 6? Oh, right, because the 1 and 2 is gone from here. So I can't
Right.
put a 7. because the low
So
digit here is a
4 is now
3.
placed in column 3.
Right, because it can't go here or there, and it can't go on any of those, and that can't be a 4 because if it was a 4, then there would be too many low digits.
Right.
4, 5, 6. Uh-oh. Did I
What?
do this wrong?
No. That was 5 and a high digit.
Because we need 1 5, 2 5s, and then we need 1 low digit, 2 low digits, and then we need 1 high digit and a second high digit. Yes, okay. So if this
Right.
was a 4, that would be a 5.
But you can't put a low digit up there. There's only
Right.
one possibility for
Uh,
4 in column 3.
yeah. And then you'd have 5 and another low digit, and then those would both have to be high. So 4, 5. I just wanted to go back through the logic there because
Right, yeah.
I was struggling with it a little bit. Um,
And one of those 2 on the ends has to
3,
be 4.
4. Right. Because the 3's already here. So that's forcing a 9. This is a 3, 8.
Well, then that's a 4-7 pair.
Is this a 4, 7 pair? Oh, because the
Well, it
8's
has
here,
but it
and
could be a 6.
yeah. It can be 4, 6, 7, though. So 7's
Right.
gone, 9's gone.
But that's a 4-6-7 triple.
Yeah.
So
So
where's
2,
the 6 comes
6, 1,
yeah.
3. 1's are gone. 7 is gone. 3, 9, 1, 8, 6. And then can't put 5 on here.
And
Can't pair with
7 has to go
4.
with 2.
So 2 and 7. 1, 8, 9, 2, and 7. And you can't put 5s on
5.
there. Um, that should be fine. Huh. One, 2, 8. 1, 2, 8. That's a 3, 9 pair. 3, 9, 2, 8. Now, excuse me. 7, 1, 2, 8, 6, 1. This is a 4. And then these 3, 1, 2, 8, 3, 9, 4. Not a 5. 6, 7 pair. 5, 4, 6, and 7 are all gone. One, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. So the rest have to be 4, 5, and 6, right? 4, 5, 6.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Row 1 in box 3. The 3 has to be over there, so the 3 comes off of the bottom of the well, there's also oh, yeah, it comes off of the bottom of the German Whisper in that box.
9 has to be in the top row as well, because we've got 9s here and here.
Right.
Two, three, 9. Okay. I cannot use a 6 as one of these two, nor can they be 5s. A 3 would be an 8-9 pair, but a 2 is less helpful. I'm not sure. Yeah, both 7 and 8. Well, a 7 would force a 2 next to it and get the 9 there. I'm pretty sure nothing's removed from here except for 3 and 9, because the 3's here and the 9's there. Hmm. Okay, 3 and 6 have to be in this row.
Look where 7s are in boxes 1 and 2. So you've got
So
a 7
7's out of
X-wing.
the bottom row. But that's
So
going to
7
force a 7 here, right?
yes,
So
which is a
then 3's
1-2
gone.
pair.
Got a Facebook bing,
So box 3 now has a single 3.
because it can't go on here, and then the 3's there, remove it from there. So yeah, that's 3, 2. Now this is 3, 9. So now we get 7 and 2.
And the 3-9 removes the possibility of 7 on the German Whisper on box.
Right,
And that's an 8-9 pair for the high digits in box
right.
6.
So 8's are gone. 7's are one of those two, so that's going to give me 2, 7, 9, and 1. 8, 3, 2, 9. 1's are gone from here, so 4's are gone. 6, 3. 6's is gone, so that's 6. 6's are gone from there. 4, 5 pair places an 8 and 9. Get 1 and 8. 8's are all gone from there. 3, 3, 9, 8. Not a 9 is a 9. Is not an 8. 1, 2 pair places 8.
German Whisper in box 1.
9 is going to make this, well, not a 4. And that is a 4 because of the 6, 7 pair, but also 9 must be next to a low digit. That's 5, that's 6, that's 7, that's 5. not 5. 4, 6 pairs is going to make that 7. That's 6. 1 or 2, we don't know. 1, 4, 5, not 4 is 5. 4, not 1. This is 7. That's 5, not a 7. These are the low digits, so 9. No, this is 1. That's 2. That's a 9. That's 7. 1, 2, 2, 1, 4, 5, 3, and 4. 8 and 9. 6 and 4. 1, 8, 3, and 6. And first try. All right.
Wow. Okay, once we finally really broke into it, it went fairly quick, but the break in was hard.
Yeah. I don't know how much of it was just thinking about the puzzle the wrong way. Um,
Yeah,
because what was the actual thing we needed to pay attention to? It was definitely over here. Um,
it was the high low and the fives.
yeah. And that gave us a 5 here and a 5 in this region. Um, learning that the 7 had to be on here, because if this was 7, then a 7 had to be in here, and then that would be 3, 4. But if those are both low digits, then then that would be all of the low digits. So then that would be a 5, 6 pair, and then this would have to be a 7. So then this couldn't be a 7 because of the contradiction there. Um, and now knowing that the 7 had to be in here because it couldn't be there, then you couldn't put a
Right,
7 in here because of 1, 2, 7 there. You can't do a 7 in here because of 1, 2, 7 in here. So then that's an 8, 9. That's an 8, 9. And then asking, well, the 7 here forced, because we knew the 7 was here. So then this had to be 8 or 9. So that forced a 7 in here, giving us 1, 2, and then that was it. So it was just
right.
figuring out these 4 blocks. And that just took us a really long time to figure it out.
Yeah. Well, and we did
Yeah.
get sidetracked there for quite a while too, so
Yeah. Um the sidetracking did not help. Um but we hadn't really made any progress by the time we had um
right.
started being
The
off topic.
grasshopper jump.
Yeah.
Although it wasn't really a grasshopper jump because you mentioned you don't have an inner dialogue, so
Yeah. Although that did sort of grasshopper from Sudoku to not talking, and so Chip mentioned that I was muted again, um,
right.
and that was only because my mouth wasn't working, um, and then the reason my mouth wasn't working is because my brain wasn't making um, thoughts happen.
Sound.
So yeah, um, I do want to disagree with this average rating. I do think this is still a hard puzzle because even if we look in the right spot here, and notice that this can't be a 7, and what that means, um, for the rest of these, I don't necessarily think that that's an average thing to do. So I'm gonna go with hard, but I don't think it was as hard as we made it. But we definitely made it harder than it should have been. Um, oh, I forgot to say very nice. And that is going to be it for today.
Yeah, it's already
Um,
10:15.
yep. So, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that fancy YouTube engagement stuff. Um, if you haven't rung the notification bell, make sure to do that. That way you get notified for when future streams are. And that is Mondays and Wednesdays, usually at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And then, if you are interested in cooperative games, I've been playing cooperative games on Saturdays at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. Other than that, um, I think I'm going to be playing The Last of Us as my next single player game because I kind of it's been a few months since I've played Final Fantasy VI, and I got frustrated with missing some stuff and just sort of getting distracted. But the fact that I've missed some stuff is really what bothers me. So I'm gonna play that with a guide that's gonna at least get me to all of the things. I'm gonna try and find a spoiler-free guide for it and give that a redo. But with that, that is all I have for today. So again, thank you for watching and have a wonderful day. All right, we hadn't gone away quite yet, Chip. I see you wanted us to solve dots with maximum heat. I will save that for next time. If you uh, so you can't post a link in chat. Um, but is there? Can I Google that? Chip sounder dots with maximum heat. The heat is on. Is that one? So that one looks like it was an 8x8 thermo. No, this is a dot of killer heat. So maybe this is the wrong puzzle. Okay, so let's see. Chip, are you in the cracking the cryptic Discord? If so, you should be able to find me as Old Man Joe and send me a link through Discord there. Where is it? I know it's in here somewhere. Cracking the cryptic, there it is. And by searching here, dots with maximum heat. Oh, can't find it there. Okay. Aha! Looks like I found a link where Bremster solved it. Yeah. Dots with maximum heat. Okay, I have a link to the puzzle now, so I will give that one a go on Wednesday. Um, Dots with Maximum Heat by Chip Sounder. And then I forgot to save a link for the other one, but all right. Hopefully you haven't signed off already. But I will see you next time.